It's here. It's happening. The day has finally come that I have a microphone. Okay, it's so cute and fuzzy. I just want to touch it, and I know that's going to ruin everything for you. Hi, let's talk about the reason why you keep attracting red flags. Ooh, this one's really scary to make. You guys are going to start yelling at me, I bet. I bet the comments are going to get feisty. So, someone asked me on a video, or actually an Instagram post that I just did recently, about my current partner and how I thrashed and pushed him away because I was scared I was falling into codependent patterns. Well, actually, I was projecting my codependent patterns onto him. We have since found out through therapy. Whoops, whoops. More on that another time. But somebody commented and said, "Why do I keep attracting red flags?" with a sad face. And I said, let me do a video on that. I don't know this person, okay? And it's hard for me to say this because I'm definitely not trying to attack anyone. I'm sure that you're a beautiful person, whoever wrote this, and anybody asking the question is coming from a great place. First of all, let's just start here. Your self awareness for wanting to know why you keep attracting red flags says so much about who you are and all of the ways that you are already leaping into a new reality and change. Congratulations. You're already developing rule number one, self awareness. Now, with that beautiful self-awareness you already have, the awareness that the red flags keep coming up, the awareness that this pattern is not working and that there is a pattern, right? There is a pattern. What do patterns say? They say something in you is benefiting from that pattern. They say something in you is co-creating that pattern because there's been enough data to show that you are the common denominator. Ay, 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 lo siento de verdad, because if you are the common denominator, you're the common denominator. Now, what's great about that? That means you're in control. That means let's take full responsibility for our own well being and realize that if you keep attracting a pattern, you get to change that pattern just as much as you've called it in. I know you might feel powerless right now and you're also like, screw you, like this is their fault. Well, first of all, if that's you, then we have a lot of other issues to kind of get down into right now. Listen, let your highest self hear this message. You're only ready if your highest self can hear this message and you can take a seat. Your ego can take a seat in the back and just breathe, okay? Hold that part of you, love on it, hold it, kiss it all over its sweet little face. It's trying to protect you. It's super loving, but let it know I've got this. Let your highest self take the driver's seat now. And if it can't, come back to this video. You are creating your own reality. You have something in you that benefits from being in the dynamic that you're in. How do I know? Years of my own therapy, almost 10 years of holistic wellness coaching, coaching teens, executives, celebrities, all kinds of people alike, knowing just the basics of relationships and having three of my best friends be sex, love, and intimacy coaches and having worked with one myself for 9 months, I have lots of reason to be able to say. But my most powerful reason to being able to talk on this subject is I was in a really, really gnarly relationship, my first relationship, which was about 4.5 years, and it was just incessant cheating. He cheated on me nonstop. I'm honestly lucky, knock on wood, we got nothing to show from that. But what I'll tell you is it was all of my greatest fears perpetuated. I was afraid of people betraying me. I was afraid of people lying. I was afraid of being cheated on. I had deep, deep, deep separation anxiety and attachment wounds and codependency wounds. I had everything in me that called in the energy of distrust and lack of loyalty. Because you know what? You know who was not loyal first and foremost? Me, to myself. I would throw my own needs out the window. I wasn't even in my body until I was in his presence. I was literally just a shell of a person, a zombie waiting for him to like to feel something when I was with him. I completely ignored my needs. I let all of my friendships go. I self isolated. I put this on a pedestal. And that is literally the recipe of betrayal. That's a betrayal to yourself, first and foremost. So, look, I'm giving a really specific example, but it's no wonder I had been accustomed to the belief as a child that we couldn't trust a lot of people, and trust wasn't something that like we should ever have. So I didn't have it, and I co-created it. It was in me, in my beliefs, and my beliefs then created my thoughts, and then my thoughts created my actions, and my actions created a whole personality and way of being. And I think it seems like very subliminal and maybe like people couldn't notice, but I think they could damn well notice. Like that's the other thing. People see so much more than we even see in ourselves sometimes. Like we think we're all subtle, and it's like we're really oozing the desperation or the fear or whatever. It's in every action we take. It's in the moves we make, it's in the words we choose, it's in everything we do. And not everybody can read into those cues so well, but somebody who's been there can definitely see, I know where this sweet little thing is. And that is why you're attracting, not just through the subliminal. I mean, the subliminal is in control, but then the subconscious is in control, but then you're actually putting it out into the world. And those people pick up what you put down, and they're a match. So look, if you're in a situation that's in like a pattern that keeps coming up, you have been a match to that pattern. I'm the first one to say it. I've been in plenty of dynamics. So my last relationship, I had realized after my whole life seeing a lot of codependent patterns, being around a lot of narcissistic personalities, I was a perfect candidate to be a codependent type of girly. And I attracted and I wanted a partner who wanted me as much as I wanted him. I had a chosen wound that was so deep, especially because of my last relationship, we got unengaged. And we mostly got engaged because I felt like my partner had no passion and like didn't want to choose me. And I remember journaling the day I chose to cancel our wedding. I journaled, I want him to choose me. And then I flipped that and I wrote, I want to choose me. And then I realized, damn it, then what the hell am I doing in this relationship? And I actually put that off for another 8 months because I was too scared and a lot of things came up. And then he was the one to actually end the whole thing, which thank God I thanked him. I actually said, thank you so much for the bravery it took to end something that we both knew wasn't actually right. And so after that, I was nursing this chosen wound because I really knew I needed to choose me, but I had never done that a day in my life. So I didn't know the texture of what choosing me even felt like or looks like. And so I'm just stumbling through life, doing my best, being re triggered by all these different little situations here and there until finally I end up in this relationship where I feel so chosen. It satiated so much of me. My cells were like thirsty fucking cells. Like I get where people like thirsty, thirsty as hell. And anyway, this partner had the same wound. And we were totally trauma bonded because we both were so codependent. Like he couldn't even go to the like chiropractor without me. Like we literally needed to be together at all times. And I was like, oh God. And it started to make me feel really frazzled and frayed and spread thin and distraught and confused and overwhelmed. And I realized codependency has been one of my greatest harms. Why am I recreating it? I don't want to be in a codependent relationship. I don't know how to not be in a codependent relationship, but I know that this is literally killing me. And I really do mean that. And so I started to slowly, well, not really to my own choice, my soul, it literally felt like was screaming at me, and I was having dreams, and it was everything in me was trying to wake me up. It was like wake up, wake up, wake up. I got hit in the back of the head by a hawk one day asking for a sign. I don't know, like if you get hit in the head by a hawk, I think you got to just like start, I think that's just supposed to mean something. So that happened. And I still tried to ignore that too and make excuses. I'm like, oh, whatever, whatever. And then just thing after thing after thing until finally I realized I'm just so unhappy and I know the life I want to live. Why am I living it like this? And then I came to a breaking point and I ended that relationship and finally chose my motherfucking self and moved to Hawaii and actually, like, with no real plan other than just to be following my truth and my joy and my dreams and my vision and hope for the best. And literally worked out 100 times better than I could have ever imagined. But I wanted to point this whole thing out and tell this story because there is so much in us. We need to take responsibility for our own well being. There are so many unchecked beliefs. What do you believe about men? Fill in the blank. Men are, if negative things are coming up there, notice them. No need to have shame. It's normal for things to come up. It's we we could fill in the blank with any conditioned societal belief. It could literally not be ours. It could be our moms. It could be from a freaking storybook we read. It could be from the media. It could be from a public figure we really admire. Whatever. It could be just a past experience, but that doesn't make it true. There's something that is equally as true about that sentence, about that belief, about that statement, because you decided that was true. Someone else decided that was true, found evidence. You decided you could find evidence too. And again, look at, this is the shadow work piece of things, which is the part nobody likes to do. Look at the part of you that benefits from being in that dynamic. The part of me that benefited from being in codependency was I felt like I could be chosen and needed and not abandoned. But the truth is, you still can be not abandoned. And the truth is, I wasn't choosing myself. I was abandoning myself the whole time. So ultimately, no, not sustainable. Is the reason why you're hiding the fact that, somebody in your family is dealing with something that doesn't serve you and you're just constantly trying to protect them because you actually enjoy kind of being the martyr? Does it give you permission to rest? Does it give you permission to isolate? Does it give permission for you to just continue living a story that's been comfortable for you for a long, long, long time? I know it sounds really weird, and I know people are like thrashing. This is why I said your highest self has got to listen to this message. Not everybody is ready for this. If you keep attracting red flags, you have to take responsibility for your part in that. And there is a huge part in that. You can actually fully change that. And after I realized that my wound in my first relationship was around distrust, I didn't know too much about codependency at that time. I was just missed that one. Had to learn that in the next few. But on that note, on that timeline, I was like, damn, I do not know how I'm going to trust ever again, but I know that that is the problem. And I know that my belief in distrust more than trust is what is creating this distrustful environment. I am the problem. Yeah, we want that guy to like take more responsibility for his own well-being too. We want him to not be avoidant. We want him to be truthful and honest or get whatever, sex addiction or whatever the hell else is going on with him. Not my responsibility. That's the thing. That's his work. And another thing for me is in my partnership, I need somebody who's self-aware and self-responsible. And that's what I have now. Thank God. And that's something that was in question for a brief moment. And I got really scared and I got so scared to self abandon that I pushed him away. And then he showed me through action that that is absolutely a core piece of who he is. Because I'm not fucking with anybody on a different dimension anymore. And sometimes when you start to up level in those ways of being and thoughts and all those things, you start to outgrow your community and your people and even your family. And it feels really uncomfortable and you feel really naked and naked and afraid. Naked and afraid. It's so scary because you're like, well, then where am I going now? But just know you're shedding your old skin. It's not meant to serve you anymore. And the new things, your new shiny, fresh skin is going to attract a whole different tribe that is so much better, more aligned, and more inspiring and expansive for you. So, if the water you're swimming in is men are toxic or women are toxic and everybody's getting cheated on, and that's just like the way things go, or whatever your whole belief system is about betrayal or shame or codependency or whatever the water you're swimming in is, you don't have to swim in that pool anymore. Work on your beliefs around it and start climbing out, or else you're going to keep recreating that. So, my whole message of today is if you keep attracting the red flags, I'm sorry, you have to do the work. You have to do the work to look at what you believe, how that serves you, how that serves the part of you that's scared and young and insecure and doesn't believe in its highest potential yet. And you hold that part tenderly and you say, I love you. I see you. I see that you've tried to protect me all of these years in all of these ways. And I've got this. This is the belief that I choose now. And find a belief that's equally as true as the negative one, something that you can actually believe. So if we say men are toxic, can we say men are integral to our society? Can we find some other belief? Can we say, if we say women are liars, can we say women are deeply intuitive, sentient beings? It doesn't have to be a perfect opposite, but it's, can we focus on a positive belief to shift ourselves out of that negative loop, at least as a stepping stone? And then, yeah, I do want you to completely reframe it. And a great way to do that is tapping. There are free videos here on YouTube. Brad Yates is one of my favorites. I also have tons of free videos. Actually, nope, they're not free. You gotta pay. You gotta pay me. $20 a month or less if you do the year-long membership. But I have a Lush Life community membership, which allows you to go through all these processes, and it's all about expanding your belief systems around yourself, around choosing yourself, around following your dreams and living your most lit, luscious, aligned, and connected life. That's how I choose to live. And my partner is a mirror and a reflection of that. So I've done a lot of work to get here. And now I've found the super highway techniques that I'm so stoked to share so that you don't have to go through decades of relationships that just waste your time. Every relationship is a teacher, and there is really no waste of time. This is all for you. That's the other thing. It's all for you. Can you look back at your relationships and look at what was the lesson here? What was the message? What do I need to grow and shift and reframe and reconstruct in me to call in the greatest, highest, most beautiful kind of love? That is my speech for today. I appreciate you being here so much. If this is hard to hear, sorry, I love you. If this is hits home, let me know. And definitely send this to your people who might need this the most. Wasn't me, it was you. Just kidding. Okay. Okay, yeah. Anyway, all my love. I hope you're having the most beautiful day. I hope that you have the most beautiful week. I'll see you here tomorrow. Subscribe so you don't miss a video. Bye.